What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Dorito side breakdown here for the MVPS Winter Classic. With this, like I'd mentioned in the snake side, this is just going to be the Dorito side. There isn't a whole lot of stuff in the middle, so I'm just splitting this in two rather than the usual three. So everything from this tower over is what we're going to be looking at. We will still look at, if I can click into here, there we go. We're still going to look at what you can shoot from this Aztec, but just focusing on the Dorito side. So that being said, let's go ahead and check that out. Now, we already saw in the other video some great stuff on the snake side. I think getting there is going to be tough, but once you're there, it can be pretty aggressive. It does look like there's a little bit more options that you have to get further up the Dorito side to then help open up that for the snake. So we're going to have to see what teams decide to do there. It looks pretty useless to shoot Dorito away from this Aztec. Just gonna be honest. Yes, you can shoot past there, but they're probably not gonna do that. So I don't think it's really that useful. And even if they were, let's say that they were going to this Dorito, for you to shoot through here is not going to be easy. So yeah, I don't see that as a great option. Now, floating here and shooting could be. The issue being that the wedge, the can, the brick, all of those can shoot back at you, and it can get kind of open here. So you do have the Aztec to jump into. That would be your closest option, and then of course you can move around to go to the wedge or whatever. But let's go up to this tower first. Now I know that with the tower, let me see here. So yeah, that brick can shoot you on the way up. The wedge you can kind of block yourself out from, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. There is a blind from this can coming in, so just be mindful of that. Now that means that you have the same shot back, so if someone is in that can and someone says they're posted snake way, you might be able to drop it right through the top and be able to get that shot. Same thing with this tower if they're inside and kind of playing sloppy. Let's look at the snake side first, because I know when we were looking at the snake, oh yeah, this thing's awesome. The only thing I don't like with this tower shooting this way is you can't stop anything until they get to this snake 4. So that 50 snake, you can't do anything there. That being said, you can at least stop them from going all the way into your snake. So this isn't a bad spot to be in. You also can shoot right into this gap here, and also stop them from moving out into, no, you still do. You'd be shooting into this section. It's kind of threading the needle kind of a shot. They could still take the inside snake and kind of surprise you, so you just need to make sure that you're listening to what your teammates are saying, and you can shoot into the snake corner. If they get into the snake corner, you can shoot the other side and help to keep them honest. But if they get two guys in here where it's a two-man operation, where it's the corner and someone else in the snake, it's definitely going to get hairy for you. So definitely not the best option. But if we look Dorito way, you can shoot straight through here. Again, this is another kind of thread the needle shot, but this one seems pretty solid. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bounce coming off this pin that comes into you. But because you can shoot through here, you can see them try to leave, and even if they do leave, then you can then decide, do I shoot this gap or do I shoot to this outside? Kind of push in and then shoot the outside, or ask someone else to help you, because that's going to get really tight really quick. But at least you can kind of keep them honest, shooting into this gap right here, as well as if they go to that tower. So just some options there. I wouldn't stay here personally. I think seeing them leave through here would be more the read. What I'm thinking though is if there's a possibility of, if I can get my marker, this can shooting this wedge, not in that section, but more here, and see if that bounces into you. That, or maybe the can is able to shoot this section of the pin, and that would probably have a good chance of bouncing into you. So just some stuff to consider, that it's not going to be 100% safe. Let's just look at it. Yeah, the can would be able to shoot that. So that pin could be a death sentence for this tower if they're looking either way, really, because it might hit you in the pack. So you just want to be careful with that kind of stuff. I do like it for that section. There are some other bunkers, like we saw on the snake side, that are able to shoot into that Dorito side, so maybe this isn't the best option. let's go up into the wedge, and then we'll go further off to the Dorito side. So this wedge, there's a lot of zone to get through. You could do some damage. I just don't know about the risk getting up here because of the fact, let's do this and go up. We can see who is it that can shoot back in at you. Okay, so if we do this, if I'm here trying to make this move up, someone shooting through here probably has that gap. Now, if they're tucked in and shooting more Dorito side, then you can keep them blocked out and you'll be okay with that. Coming up here, you are going to expose yourself to the Aztec, the tower, and probably this Dorito 1 shooting inside. Also, if they're in the snake, it's a pretty simple shot to shoot through there. You might be able to get there unseen from them if their head is down, but this zone here, there's a lot of stuff coming in here. So I don't know that I would necessarily try to take this early. This would be more of a secondary, tertiary kind of move, maybe to help close things out. I also wonder if well, they'd have to play the wrap. I'm wondering if the Dorito, whoa, my goodness, that was a terrible line. Let me get this, try to be straighter. There we go. Can bounce off there into you here. I'm wondering if they can wrap and do that, or maybe even from this wedge off there into you. You could also kind of play with this person here, because if you back up, looks like even till probably about here. So from there to there, if you move around in here, you could back up and kind of surprise them. So they're kind of playing whack-a-mole while you're taking things more into your hands. So just something, I don't know. I like the bunker because of what it can do. I just don't know about the risk. The risk reward, you might be able to catch someone on the move, but is that worth it to try to go that deep? I don't know about going that early. Just because it's so open. Like, just look at that. Like, these, you can drive semi-trucks through here. This is humongous. So definitely want to be careful with that. So let's get out to this wedge. And as we go out, the tower could shoot this on the way up. Now, you could also shoot it back, but you can't get that shot on them until you're in their spot of them shooting through here. So that could be something to consider. Also, there's that shot from the brick, so if they're able to get there quicker than you, if you're trying to delay or something. But it kind of seems like, yeah, you can take a deep route or a shallow route, and it seems like you're okay. So kind of reading how they might go out and just kind of messing with them in terms of that to get into this wedge. Now, let's say we get in here fine. Yeah, I like this. So being able to shoot through this gap, especially once you have someone wider, you can stop that movement. And then if they do happen to go wide, it looks like you can go straight. Yep. Not the best. I think that's when you might want to have someone shoot the cross. But if they get into the Dorito, you could maybe come to the Aztec. I don't know if that's my favorite for it, though. I think that's when you would want to have, yeah, that's when you'd want to have the snake side try to help out, or they might be able to get kind of lost in these Doritos. From my first impressions, I kind of feel like the first punch is coming from the Dorito side, and then you're able to kind of swing guns and then move that over to the snake. Again, this is always first impressions. I could be completely wrong by the time we get out to the field, but it's something hopefully that helps you guys out. At least, oh, actually from here you can shoot. Oh, wait, I'm not 6 foot tall. Let me go down to a normal height. Yeah, you could shoot through here. They can take the inside move, but you can shoot this gap. So at least there's some options there. So if they do happen to go into the Dorito 1, you can shoot the outside. Shoot a little bit lower for section there, but they can still kind of surprise you in terms of that. Now, moving up into, let me go into this Aztec like we were looking at before. Yeah, there's those shots that I was talking about going into that tower. So I keep moving back, and I mean, this is going to be more of a gunfight here, so that's if they're hanging out. But yeah, you can get a better angle there. Shooting heads up is not looking the best just because it's not going to take a lot to put you in and go. Because once they put you in and dive out, they're safe. So this wouldn't, I don't think, would be the bunker I'd want to get to try to stop the Dorito side. It might be something to get here. Let's just turn and look to the middle and look to the, I don't even like it for the snake. So I'm not sure. This might be more of a kind of secondary after getting to that wedge to help with closing out the Dorito side. But let's look at this can. Maybe this can is better because as we come out, yeah, there's that blind that we were talking about. But if you dive low, I think you should be okay. And I think you should be able to beat actually that side there. So yeah, I feel like Dorito side is definitely going to be the first punch. You can take a lot more off the break than it's not as easy to do that snake side. Can we do anything from this can? So the can kind of has the same problems as that wedge, but at least you could kind of move back and forth possibly. You can at least stop them from making the move into this Dorito here, but them getting into this little Dorito, taking the inside route, you can't stop that. So yeah, let's just keep exploring and kind of see what's going to be best. Okay, so as we go out, there's finally some shots coming through for the Aztec to shoot into here to stop maybe this move here going out to this tower. Can you take a deep route? Yes, you can. But this guy can kind of do the same job and shoot into here. So whether it be that you want it to double up, I kind of feel, try it out. Try it out and see, focusing more on the Dorito side with the wedge and the back center, or this Aztec. I know it's technically not the back center because it's offset from the middle, but I think that this guy shooting, maybe even having two people in here could be helpful, and then getting them out of there quick. I don't know. It's all risk reward. So if you did double this, you can probably get pinched there pretty easy. But if you can delay and shoot and then go up or across, just have a good read, then that might be something that would be beneficial. But let's say that you get into this this tower here. There's that shot from the snake that we looked at, as well as the tower. So they do have a presence this way to at least be a thorn in your side. Of course, the middle. I do like this for if they are in these Doritos, because you can shoot the outside. If they're further out wide, this doesn't seem like the bunker, just because you can't stop the movement outside. You can stop this movement if they try to go here, because it's going to be not as likely that they would go inside into this Dorito. It's not impossible, but yeah, it kind of looks more like a gunfight on this Dorito side. Yeah, I think it is kind of just a gunfight. Let's get into this Dorito 1 and see what options we have. Yeah, Dorito 1, it's kind of like a little forest over here. So Dorito 1, does that line up? Okay, this is a possibility for you. If there is someone in that tower, you might be able to bounce it off this pin into that tower that's there. So I'll go up so we can see it a little bit better. Bounce it off here into here, just to try it out. Let me go back down. The other thing that might be possible, and this is a really big might line up, is if they're in the back center, bouncing off this wedge might skip over that way. And then could you do anything? No, that's too far back. Okay. Could you do it from here? Ooh, you might be able to do that same bounce from here, where you bounce it off here into the back center. So if you bounce it right off there, it might, if you can catch the right angle, just kind of check it out and see. It could be something that's useful. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the Dorito. Yeah, the middle presence. Who is it that's going to stop you over here? It looks like it's just going to be creativity on this Dorito side, because you do have some inside moves. It's just going to be sketchy. Like this one I was talking about, if I take this inside move, if someone looks over just move this down so you can see it a little bit better. If somebody looks over and you're trying to take this inside route here, the tower catches you, the brick can catch you. Looks like the snake might be able to catch you. You have people that you have to worry about. Could it be done? Yeah, absolutely. I think switching and trying to read the paint as best as you can is going to be your best friend here in regards to this Dorito side. That being said, doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of like guaranteed shots here. Let's get to this little Dorito. Yeah, so this little Dorito, you can get a little bit better of a shot there. Same thing here for the brick. You might even be able to bounce it off this pin into the brick. That might be an option. So if someone is trying to post this way, try this. Kind of maybe right above the logo for the MVPS. If you shot it right, it might bounce in. So that's something to consider there. Is that? If this can is posted on you and you're just kind of tucked in, might be kind of sketchy, but you might be able to bounce it off the tower into them as well and at least kind of slow them down. I think if I was playing this and the can was on me, either I'm shooting the gap to try to stop them from moving out, or get really low and then use this Dorito to block me out to dive over here. That could be an option there. Which actually, let's look at this Dorito and see. Yeah, so this Dorito might have that same bounce. This might have the same bounce into the brick. This might even have that bounce. This looks a little bit harder. Yeah, that'd be a little bit more difficult because it's skipping in really, really hard. Man. Yeah, I mean, you still need to... You can't go to sleep on this Dorito side, but you definitely have to work for some kills here. Let's get into this 50 Dorito. Yeah, because even 50 Dorito, you're not guaranteed a whole bunch of... I mean, yeah, you can shoot into the snake, so if you see someone's head, but you can see how, like, you have to... Well, if you wrap, then you're starting to get some better shots. But if someone's shooting the outside, it might be a little bit more difficult. You might still be able to bounce it off this wedge into the back center if someone is posted on you there. And yeah, oof. Yeah, definitely gaps that you have to watch out for sure. But I feel like I'm still standing behind my initial thoughts here, where the first bit of the match, if I move this back, coming out into the Aztec, I'm sorry, not the Aztec, the wedge or the can, you do have a chance of getting shot here, but it seems like you can get a couple more people out deeper on the Dorito side. Like maybe even trying to send someone over to this Dorito might be sketchy, but there's the pin in the way, the wedge. Even if they're coming out to this wedge, I think they can shoot the sliver here, but maybe if you came around here and then went in, that's possible. Or trying to take the deep route and overslide. I wonder, can they see you? They might have a hard time. So yeah, this overslide here and then diving out and crawling or going straight up into this Dorito 1, maybe even going straight to this Dorito 2, depending on where they're at here. Because by the time they're crawling, depends on how quickly they dive straight in. If they're sliding further, sometimes it's the grass might be a little bit slick. They can get up there a little bit quicker, but you might be able to just overslide this and go straight up. If you stay tight in the middle, they won't be able to see you. If you go out too wide, the Aztec and the can both see this. So I don't see someone else that can counter that. So that could be an option. I don't see a lot of like the up and overs, trying to come through here and go through. If you stay really low, maybe. But this zone right here that this Aztec can shoot through. They're able to see that. So I still feel like first punch is coming Dorito side, and then trying to get the snake to go to work after that is going to be kind of the name of the game. And you really have to make sure that you're on your gun here, just so that way you're not giving up moves, but also you're going to have to fight for those moves for yourself. But that seems about it there. Oh, sorry. There is one more that I just realized because I did this overview. This Dorito has a blind shot into that snake corner, but that means that the snake corner also has it. So just something to be careful of. It looks like this 50 Dorito possibly has it as well. So yeah, so that is the Dorito side there. Guys, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like I'd mentioned in the other video, I will be commentating as far as I know, unless something crazy happens. So I'll see you guys at the event. And yeah, put in the comments down below, what is it that you guys think of this Dorito side? Maybe you've already done some of this. Maybe you're watching it and it's been a week of the practice. You want to kind of share what it is that you've seen. Maybe you want to keep it to yourself. That's fine too. But I hope this helped you out, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.